everyone. I'm Angetti.
And I'm Jorge.
And this is Everybody Doesn't. We're back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know. It's been about 4 months since we've last did our episode. So.
Yes, but we had to take a break. And you know what? That's okay. If you decide to open up your relationship and want to close it again, I feel like that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're an individual or when you're in a relationship, you're going to grow and you're going to change. And experiences make a big difference sometimes. And sometimes those experiences change your whole perspective and you need some time to adjust.
Yeah, that's
and balance too.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we first jumped into this non-monogamous world, we put in a lot of time and attention. And we lost touch with our personal goals, in a sense. And we needed to get back to being healthy. We needed to get back to our fitness. We needed to get back to, our family, our finances. We really just needed to buckle down on a lot of other areas of life. And now we're in a place where we're doing better than ever.
Yeah.
And we're just excited to continue telling you guys our stories. And we've had some experiences since we have filmed our last episode. Mm-hmm. So life has been going on. We are nonstop. We don't sit still. That's part of why I love this person so much.
Yeah, we've been in the DC area since August.
Yeah, and it's been amazing. Yeah, the people here are wonderful. There's so much stuff to do.
Lots of Hondureños, which I love. My peoples!
It's just a whole different type of vibe. Yeah. Like, people are so different. People are so nice. And it's been very refreshing.
It's definitely so much diversity, and it's been teaching us a lot about each other and about life and about other ways that people live. And I think that's the most exciting part, is realizing like there's just so many ways to live your life and so many different lifestyles. And it's been great to be able to travel around as a partner and be able to see the world not just through my eyes but through your eyes as well.
Yeah. And before we get into the topic for this episode, I just want to tell you guys that we are not professionals. We are here just trying to figure things out.
Right.
Trial and error. Mm-hmm. We need therapy ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have been on the edge of breaking up multiple times.
Damn.
I
didn't think you were going to say that, but yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sometimes we didn't know if we were meant for this type of lifestyle or if we were meant for each other.
Mm-hmm.
But the beautiful thing about taking this break from it and really focusing on ourselves is we realized that it is what we want. It is a lifestyle that we want to pursue. Mm-hmm. So don't think that you're going to come across all this information and changes are going to come overnight, because this is a lot of healing. This is a lot of reprogramming.
Yeah.
You're going against everything society tells you is right. And we understand firsthand that it can be difficult. But once you make it to the other side, well, once we've made it to the
I was like, are we on the other side?
I feel like we're on the we're tiptoeing on the other side.
Yeah.
Things get a lot easier.
I still have my floaties on.
And even though we still run into challenges and have our arguments, I feel like the intensity of our arguments has declined so much. I feel like I've been understanding her at such a deeper level than I was understanding her before. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're communicating better than ever. And I do feel like having this open relationship was part of what helped us get to this point. Being able to have an open perspective of life, of, people, and love.
I feel like it's definitely made me a much better, open, and loving person. Because, you know me, like I could be pretty in my world, and that's only because I've been hurt by men and women. So I feel very protective of my world and of my energy, and I think that's one of the reasons why I wanted to close the relationship, because I felt like there was too many energies like trying to get in, and I'm very protective. So I felt like, no, wait a minute, let me get my mind right, and let's get each other right before we start bringing other people back into our world. And it was beautiful too to see that, like, even in a closed relationship, we still have amazing sex. We still have a really good time. You know what I mean? Even if there's nobody around,
life is still great.
I actually just recently realized too that I don't want to date men anymore for the time being. It kind of happened after that Roe versus Wade thing, when the whole abortion thing got like unlegalized. So I just wanted to focus more on women, and that's kind of like where we're at, because I never really got a chance to really enjoy my bisexuality. And oh my god, it is pretty hard dating women. I now kind of feel like I know what the guys go through because like, holy shit, you know, like the fact that, yeah, it's not that I'm no longer attracted to men. I'm still like very much attracted to men. Like, you know, I see them all the time. I'm like, oh shit. But I just don't want to like give men my energy like as much as I want to give women my energy. And I know Jorge is all about that.
Yeah, not to say that we haven't had experiences with men. So if you tune into the next episode that we're going to film sometime soon, you're going to hear all about those. But for right now, we've got a great topic for you guys. We're picking up where we left off when we're talking about threesomes today.
Yes. Because that seems to be our very most popular topic that people want to know about and people want to ask about. And I do think that when people open up their relationship, one of the first things they do is, let's have a threesome, right?
Definitely. So I guess my perspective is, I love women, first off. You know, I love all kinds of women. I don't discriminate, you know, any color, any size, any height. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're a nice person, you know, and I don't feel like I'm going to absorb any negative, toxic energy from you, then we can get it on. And I also love this woman so much right here, you know, and I feel like she is top notch. She's a 10. Like, she is so special to me. And I not only want to share myself with like other people, but I also want to share her with other people. And I don't want it to seem like I just want to go have experiences with other people and forget about you. Mm-hmm. No. Usually the thing that I talk about the most when I'm connecting with other women is my partner, you know, and I talk about our relationship. And when I can really like vent to somebody else or gloat to somebody else about, you know, our experiences or our relationship, it feels great. And when I come across somebody who might be interested in meeting her,
forget about it.
It turns me on. It gets me going. I get excited.
It's like, wait, you want my bag?
So that's kind of my perspective on, you know, why I wanted to dabble with it, why I wanted to jump in those waters and see how it could be, because I don't, you know, I don't want there to be any competition between her and anybody else. I want people to just enjoy themselves when they are in our presence, and you know, vice versa. I want to enjoy their presence as well. I want her to enjoy her. I want them to enjoy each other's presence. So we've had successful threesomes now where it was just that, like, we all just enjoyed each other's company. We enjoyed each other's bodies. We've shared nothing but positive vibes. And it's been a beautiful thing, and I don't think that it's affected our love at all. I only think that...
I was afraid that it would. I definitely was. I do have a question though. Did you ever have a threesome before me?
Not a good one.
Okay, elaborate.
So there was...
Like, what's not a good threesome in a guy's perspective?
There was two girls that I was interested in, and I had them both in the same space. but I don't think either of them really wanted to have that experience. And we were lit, but they weren't like kissing each other or, you know, engaging with each other. It was kind of like them both trying to please me, and I can kind of feel the awkward vibes.
Oh God. And that is awkward.
Yeah, and I don't think I made them both come either.
Damn.
I don't even know if I made either of them come, to be honest with you.
Did you come?
Yes.
Of course.
And I don't think I ever spoke to them again after that nut.
Wow.
Not that I didn't want to.
Did you say after that nut?
Yes, after that nut.
Oh my God.
Not that I didn't want to speak to them.
Yeah, what happened? That's not like you.
No, it's just that it was really awkward. I don't think they were digging it. They didn't want to speak to me anymore. I didn't really know them that well, though. It was, you know, social media.
That's crazy that you got like 2 girls in like your space to have like a threesome with you, though, even though like they didn't really like each other.
Well, we were at an event together. I didn't think they were both going to come, but they did. So I just tried my best to make it work.
And they knew each other?
They met that night.
Damn. Yeah, that's... If anybody could pull it off, it's this motherfucker right here. Because I had a threesome before you, but it was 2 friends. It was a guy friend and it was a girlfriend, and it was kind of like the same thing. Except I arranged it actually too. I had them both come over to my apartment, and I had told the guy friend that I was like, yo, I think like tonight I want to do something that I've never done before. And he's like, threesome? And I was like, how did you know? Because I think like every dude is like secretly hoping that like 2 girls or 3 girls or whatever hanging out and he's there is gonna turn into like something. And I was like, yeah, like I don't know, I've never done it before, and I have always had that fantasy of a threesome, but it was kind of like you and with the 2 girls. We weren't exactly like really kissing up on each other. We weren't really doing much with each other. It was more like her and I like just kind of pleasing him and just using him, and you know what I mean, riding him at the same time. But it wasn't like me and her were doing much. So I still, even though that was fun, I still wanted a threesome where I was enjoying the girl too. But at the time, I didn't realize like how bisexual I was. I thought I was just more like bi-curious. I used to always label myself as like more bi-curious, not bisexual, because I had never had sex with a girl, but I always wanted to. So, but I wanted to be into the girl, and I wanted the girl to be into me. But I never had a threesome with a partner, and I was afraid. I was really scared to like, even though it was a fantasy of mine to have a threesome with a partner, because in the past I've come close to planning threesomes with exes. It just never, those motherfuckers didn't deserve shit, so it never panned out. Because like if you're gonna have a threesome with your partner, you have to be really, really comfortable in the fact that like, okay, I'm about to like share my partner, and I'm about to like witness him pleasuring another woman, and it was really terrifying for me at first, right?
Yeah. So once we kind of had the agreement to give it a try, somebody came to mind that had already shown interest in the both of us in some kind of way.
Right. So that was nice.
Yeah, it was.
That was great.
Very, very important to Njetti through this process that whatever woman comes around has obvious interest in her, you know?
Because otherwise it's just weird. Like, it's just awkward. And, like, you know, just me being as empathetic as I am, I can just feel like when people don't genuinely like me. And that makes it really hard. And I think Jorge's kind of starting to realize, like, just because you like a girl and she likes you does not mean that, like, she wants anything to do with me. And it's happened.
Definitely.
So.
Now, there's definitely been times where I have tried to bring a girl around and I can feel the vibes that she was jealous of my partner. And that's not what we want.
Right.
And it took me a while to really like differentiate that from being just uncomfortable and also scared, you know, of am I crossing, you know, boundaries? Like, okay, they say this is okay, but is it really okay?
Right.
You know?
Is she gonna flip out on me like in the middle of it? Because girls do that.
Yeah.
I've heard some crazy like threesome horror stories where like in the middle of it, like the wife or the girlfriend just like wakes up, I guess, from the trance, and she's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So trying to figure out what a girl is really going through can be like a little difficult sometimes. But now we're just more. We've been more not to say picky, but
Selective.
it's kind of like we've been letting females come to us more. We haven't really been on a search too hard, but sometimes somebody comes in our path and it's cool and we pursue it, and it's always a beautiful experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't call us unicorn hunters. I hate the phrase unicorn hunters. And because I know there's a lot of unicorn hunters out there. For those of you that are new to the lifestyle, unicorn hunters are people that basically go after bisexual women to have threesomes with. And it's normally like the guy running the show. Like I always feel like unicorn hunters, it's like the guy really wants to have the threesome and like the woman, wife, girlfriend, whatever, is just kind of going along with it. So I really don't like to call me and Jorge unicorn hunters because we're not out here thinking like every girl that we're going to come across, we're just going to like, you know, try to get her into bed or like manipulate her in any way to like get her into bed, or that I'm out here really just doing this for like Jorge's pleasure, because it's really not like that. Like I'm out here, yes, Jorge's pleasure has obviously something to do with it, but my pleasure is just as important, and just the overall like experience, because I really like this person, he really likes this person, and this person really likes us. So it just makes sense. Like, why not? You know?
Yeah, so when we decided to try to have our first threesome, we met with the person out in public. We had some drinks, we were having some fun dancing, really feeling each other's energy, and it really seemed like she was very interested in coming home with us, and she said that she would.
Yeah.
So we went to the car, and we were getting ready for her to come out, and I don't know what happened, but something must have like triggered in Jetty's mind.
Don't take much.
That it was about to go down, and she broke down.
Yeah, I had a little mini mental breakdown in the car, literally right as we're waiting for this girl to like come into the car and like go home with us. It was just the reality sinking in of like, okay, whoa, hold on. Because my logical brain is like, hold up, what are you about to do? Like, are you really about to let this chick come in and like, fuck your man? And you're gonna just be there too? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, my brain was just going through a lot. So, we almost called it off, right? Because I was crying.
I almost canceled. I was like, this is not what we about to do. Because you know when you enter a room or when you get in a car with people,
they've been talking about you.
or they were arguing like right before you got in the car, you can like feel that energy. Mm-hmm. I didn't want somebody like to come in and feel that energy. I was ready to pull off and not turn around. I was ready to go. But you know, she pulled herself together real quick.
I did. The mini breakdown lasted about, you know, like what, 10 minutes? It was like 10 minutes.
Maybe not even. Maybe.
Yeah, like 5-10 minutes. And it really was Jorge just kind of being a little bit more patient with me. Because I think the thing that I kept saying to him, I think my abandonment triggers kicked in, because I was like, what if he enjoys having sex with her way more than he enjoys having sex with me, and like he leaves? And that's always been like one of my biggest triggers and fears that have shown up in this open relationship. And so that was the one thing I was asking him was, do you really love me? Like, do you really love me? Or you promise you're not gonna leave? Like, you promise that I'm safe? And he's like, yes, babe. Like, yes. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I just really needed a lot of reassurance. And I really think that if you're a guy and you're trying to like, I hate to use the word convince because there's no convincing anybody, but validating your woman in right beforehand is so important, because if he wouldn't have like paused to just hear me out, let me have my feelings and my little breakdown and just validate whatever I was going through, yeah, we probably would have canceled on her.
Yeah,
but we didn't.
We got through it.
Yeah.
And the girl got in the car, and we put on some music, and we smiled.
Totally in a non-creepy way.
Yeah. Everything was, you know, it was
We're
like a 10-minute ride to the house, so we got to like, you know, gather our thoughts, and we was talking to her. She was talking a lot too. I think she was a little lit, and
yeah,
you know, but she was very energetic, so she kind of made us comfortable really quickly.
That was the most important thing too, is like finding somebody who makes the two of you comfortable. And that's why we chose her, because from the moment I met her, she made me feel comfortable. And this was before you and I even had an open relationship, before, you know what I mean? And she was very down to earth, and she told me that she was feeling me, that she liked me. And that stayed with me. I'm like, oh, she likes me? You know what I mean? Like, okay. So that is so important, is finding someone that makes the two of you feel comfortable. Because if not, it's just not going to work out. It's just going to feel one-sided, and there's going to be resentment that's going to come afterwards. And I really didn't want that.
Yeah. But, you know, we got to the house, and everything was cool. We
talked for a while.
Yeah, we talked for a long time.
This is another thing that's really important too, is making sure that you're really listening to that person, that person matters, you know. And that's the thing why I don't like with the unicorn hunters, is because really unicorn hunters are just out here looking for women to have sex, and they're just like, you know, a warm body to enjoy, and then like goodbye, you know what I mean? There's like, it happens and then it's over. But like, no, we sat on the couch and we talked for like an hour before anything actually happened. And we even told her like, yo, this is actually like our first threesome. Like, we've never done this before. And I know that definitely made her feel special.
Yeah.
She's like, really? I couldn't tell. I'm like, really? Because I just had a little mental breakdown in the car.
Yeah.
So it's so important to see that other person as a person, because they're a person too. They're not just here for your entertainment. Like, no, they're a person that needs to be also validated. And that's kind of what we did in that hour, was kind of like, everybody just kind of went around and said like what they were hoping, right? Like, so it was good to kind of have that open lines of communication.
Yeah. And I kind of let Njetty have control of everything. You know, she was the one that was struggling more. I was the one that was definitely more interested, I guess I could say, and really wanted to pursue this kind of relationship. Even though Njetty was really the one that did the research and found the information.
No, I really did want to have a threesome.
Yeah, so, you know, we both wanted to, but yeah. I still let Njetty really have the control in the situation, because I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable with anything I did or said. So I was kind of just quiet, letting all the vibes just, you know, brew up for a little bit. And I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, they were making out and sucking on each other's titties. I was like, okay. I
just like having control of things. I think I'm just it's more my dom side than anything, because whether I'm having regular sex with somebody, I normally just tend to take control of the situation. Like, I'm not a very submissive person when it comes to sex at all. So I feel like that's just naturally for me to just want to like take control and take the reins. I don't know. So it makes me feel good. But yeah, Jorge went to the bathroom, and yeah, her and I just started going at it. And then I knew it was like the moment was coming, you know? The moment was coming where I had to like see him and her. And this is the part that I was the most afraid of, because I've never seen my partner enjoy somebody else in front of me. But I was so curious, because I love watching people having sex. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can just translate it to that. So when Jorge came out, he let us do our thing, whatever, we're just enjoying each other's bodies. Then I stopped and I said, okay, I want to see the two of you guys kiss. I want to see like what it's gonna be like. And because I don't know why, but I feel like for me, kissing is way more intimate than like a dick and vagina. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I don't know. So when I saw them, they started making out, I was so turned on. I really couldn't believe how much pleasure I was like having in that moment. Like, here I was thinking that this moment was gonna break me, but it was actually the moment that set me free. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. But yeah, like watching him and her kiss each other, I was like, wow, like this is my man, and like he looks so good. And then this is our friend, and she looks so good. Like these two people are just, goddamn, like I'm so lucky. Like I was so turned on in that moment, and that really just let me kind of just breathe. Because I knew that if I could see you like just kiss her, I knew that everything else was gonna be fine. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't view sex as like something so intense as like some people do. But kissing, I don't just be kissing everybody unless I'm drunk. I don't.
Yeah, so it was a fun experience. It was really comfortable for me because Anjeli was kind of leading the way, and she was opening for the doors for all of these actions to take place.
Yeah.
So it didn't really feel too stressful. I didn't feel overwhelmed.
You weren't nervous?
I felt very comfortable. She felt comfortable. I know she felt comfortable. I could see it in her face. We could just feel each other's energy. And and everybody had an orgasm. So
yeah, it was definitely some top-notch sex, that's for sure. And yeah, then it was done, and she still hung out with us for a little bit, and then we drove her home, and we actually had sex with her a few times.
Yeah,
like she became a good friend of ours. We traveled together. It wasn't just a one and done thing, and I didn't want it to be like that. Like I wanted to have this person not just be one night stand. I don't really like one night stands. I'm realizing that now. Like I really do like having more of a connection. Right. So yeah, I'm really grateful that our first threesome experience was really good, because after that I was like, we could do anything. Right?
Yeah, not to say that we didn't run into issues still.
Yeah.
We did have really great experiences following that one.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, recently we had another threesome, and that was really good too. And this was somebody that I met on a field app, and that is an app for people in open relationships, ethical, non-monogamous, polyamorous people. FEELD, shout out to Field. And that was really cool to be able to meet somebody in the area that we're in now, and this person just came with really good vibes too. And again, there was like no expectations at all.
No.
Like that's another thing. It's like we never go into, at least for me personally, I don't like putting like expectations on people. Like I know a lot of people, I feel like in this lifestyle, they really think like, oh, as soon as I start talking to somebody, I better fuck them. And it's like, no, like nobody owes you their body. You know what I mean? Like somebody might match with you and talk with you and then later change their mind and be like, hey, like I'm actually not interested in sex anymore. Okay, that's totally fine. Like we're not out here thinking like everybody that we come across, we gotta go and have sex with. Like it really is not like a free for all.
Yeah, we were, it was no expectations to the point where we didn't even have a condom, and we just had oral sex.
Yeah, I mean there was a condom somewhere. I just couldn't find it. But yeah, protection always. So no condom, no intercourse. But we still had other ways to make it fun.
We still had a great time.
Yeah, you made her come like 3 times. That was crazy. No, I really do enjoy like watching him pleasure another woman. And I was just telling this to my bestie the other day. I'm like, listen, I know I may sound crazy when I say this, but I don't know what it is about like Jorge, like watching him like going down on another girl or like having another girl sit on his face. Like I just, cause she sat on your face and I rode you. That was so fun. And I don't know, I guess I'm just a fucking hornball. But I just like knowing that, like, damn, like my man can really give some pleasure. You know what I mean? And what's crazy is that these girls be coming like real fast on you. Not me though, I be taking them forever. It's like 20, 30, 40 minutes later and I still haven't come. Doesn't mean I'm not having a good time. It's just that my pussy's a little more complicated.
Yeah, you know. It's probably one of the hardest people that I have had sex with to make come. But, you know, I figured it out. You know,
yeah.
It's 20, 30, I don't think it's 20, 30 minutes.
Sometimes.
I don't know if it's that long.
Oh, I feel like it is.
Maybe like 15.
Really? Oh, yeah. You're being nice.
Nah, it's 15 minutes is a long time.
Babe, I've been feeling like sometimes it be taking mad long.
Yeah, but, you know.
But I still want it like all the time, though. That's the thing.
Like people feel like they're having sex for way longer than they are. I feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like if you're having sex for 30 minutes, I feel like that's a long time.
I know, because this girl sat on his face and she came in like 3 minutes.
I feel like less than that.
Not right. I was like, damn, girl. You know, and it really does it make me jealous? No, I just feel happy for her because I just know all our bodies are different, and you know, I'd rather that than like her be disappointed. You know, so yeah, definitely a good time.
Yeah. What's the longest we ever had sex? Like an hour?
Yeah, probably. I don't really like very long sex though. Like I get over it pretty fast. I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
Especially once I come, I might want to come one more time, and then I'm like, all right, I'm good. Like, can you just finish?
Yeah, I feel like our threesomes lasted pretty long.
Yeah, because there's 3 people involved.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of like, and I feel like we also do more foreplay in our threesomes, which I think is really, really good because that kind of gets everybody like more warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but. So what are we gonna talk about in the next episode?
So,
I guess we should talk about our sexual experiences with men.
In our next episode? Okay, yeah. So just to set the record straight, I am the one that has asked Jorge if I could have a threesome with him and another guy, even though Jorge is very, very hetero. I still had this fantasy of like, you know, doing the Eiffel Tower and whatnot. But so yeah, that's what we're gonna talk about in the next episode is our experiences with men.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Share it, comment, you know, send us your stories, your questions, whatever. We want to know, and yeah, talk about it, share it with your friends. Let's normalize it because it's a big world and life is meant to be enjoyed and love is meant to be full of pleasure. So, love you guys. Bye.